in, ladies and gentlemen. Troy Hardy with the ARL, joined line side with Corey Rosser, the key caller for our wonderful sport here in the Auckland Rugby League. And we can see the Papakura Sea Eagles lining up. And all the young fellas are off the park, though. I think there's a young 8-year-old over there just trying to slot into the wing position, Corey, and the ball is off. Welcome back for the second half, ladies and gentlemen. Jack Colvin Park, as we see the Roosters coming out from the gate. Big hit. Well, Corey, I know you managed to get outside and pick up any tidbits around the park.
Look, I think walked past the Papakura huddle and the message was, as you'd expect, really happy with the first 30 minutes. The second 10, probably in that first half, not so ideal. And for the Papakura Sea Eagles, look, I think we've found what's working. Let's try and stick to it. So the Roosters now out to the left edge. Here's Makeri, who has been really impressive through the middle of the park thus far. Bond comes back centre field, links with Maipi. And they're 30 metres out from the line. Last play coming up now. Inside the opening minute of the second half. Inu dribbles a little kick in behind. It's cleaned up by Neil Levu, I think it is. Brings the ball straight back. Taken down by Jesse Bond. Okay, an update around the grounds. Obviously, this is the feature game, I guess, of the Crown of Trucks Fox Championship today, but a real thriller brewing over at Mountford Park. Richmond are up 22-18 over Manurewa, and had that feeling about it, didn't it? Like it was probably going to be a fairly close one. So we'll wait to see how that one unfolds over the next 40.
What other morsels do you have there on the phone, mate?
Looking at the SAS Fox Memorial Premiership. Of course, the First Division side of things, the remaining 8 teams from the qualifiers, as Papakura wait for last play. We'll just talk you through the set here as BT kicks low and hard, and it evades Cheney Puata at first, but scoops that up, hands off to Goulton, and now they bring the ball back. Okay, updating the scores from the Fox Premiership, sponsored by SAS Sport, and it is Atatu up 18-6 over Northcote. Point Chevalier lead 18-6 over Mount Albert. Glenora in control 30-6 over the Marist Saints, and the Howard Hornets 32-0. And at this stage, the Root Rooster will remain at Paparoa Park. Well, the one that jumps out to me there, Otahu 18, Northcote 6. It's a huge game in terms of ladder implications.
Yeah, and that's happened in the first round too. So let's hope that for the Otahu fans, it doesn't end up like the result in the first half when the Northcote boys have a bit of a quiet chat with Jeff and they come out and fire up in the next 40. Kick away.
Inu chips over the top and will beat everyone and go into the crowd here at Jack Colvin Park. And just getting out of the trailer and having a walk around, you just really get a feeling for the crowd down here. It's one of the better ones we've probably seen for a premiership game this year. They've got right behind it today, and it's great to see as well. Lots of families out enjoying the day. Yeah,
and just fantastic, to see the, I suppose everyone's talked about it, and the Fox teams are playing the old format Sharman Cup teams, and they come to clash now on the Crown Lift Trucks Championship, that everyone's interested, everyone's engaged, and they're all keeping an eye on the ladder as well as watching the games. Just fantastic.
Penalty up inside the 10.
So that's the first one for the Papakura Sea Eagles. And I'm having a look at my stat sheet here, and I'm going to go 5-1.
So Stowers pumps that one into touch, and they're going to start this set 35 out from the line. Interesting if Papakura are first to score in the second half after the way they finished the first, as Ropati gets us into it. Fades the initial first-up contact from Hakaraya. Ropati may have got an accidental poke in the eye there. Armiger to Edwards to Tassesi. Tassesi shakes out of the first one to Zion, and then is taken down 11 out from the line. Armiger comes centre field to Edwards. Edwards, change of direction. George Edwards, he might do it on his own here, George. Goes pretty close, short of the line. Armiger. Hunt. Jamal Hunt tackled beautifully down low in front of the SAS uprights. Stowers to BT. BT holds it up, puts Naden through, quick hands. Neolevu's in for his second. Alan Neolevu, another athletic finish, but some classy touches there from Willie Stowers, and once again, at the centre of it, Makati BT.
There you go. Now having a look on the Crown Lift Trucks action replay. A lot of pressure down on that left-hand edge before they decided to shift and really spread the Te Atatu Roosters line. Now at this point, managed to draw on a couple of defenders and another great finish. Fantastic. 4 points, Papakura Seagulls, racking them up now.
And you can just see right now, every time Makati Beatty touches the ball, there's sort of alarm bells going off because he's had a couple of dynamic plays already, and that time, even the fact that he bobbled the ball just sort of made everyone stop, think for a second, and maybe contributed to creating that little half gap. He's having a wow of a game so far as Makati.
And you can't quite see as we're waiting for the kick to come, Corey, but if you look at our window here, interesting to see that the Papakura Seagull boys are all in a big circle and breathing.
Warrior-esque.
Yep. So I think they're getting their rhythm now. They're certainly, you know, on form. And good, strong family community feel down here at the Te Atatu Roosters. We can see a couple of the baby chairs are out as well. Good to see the families down here today at Jack Colvin.
BT's got plenty on it, but away. So it will remain Papakura Seagulls 14, Te Atatu Roosters 10. The Seagulls lead for the first time today.
So you can probably hear in the background there just quietly, pick it up, the Roosters. Good strong support for Tat. Hashtag Tat Loyal. If you're on the social media, that certainly gets hammered out there because I'm a big Twitter user, aren't I, Corey? I don't mind banging out the odd tweet from my friends. Here we go.
Back underway. Social media chat is over. Stowers brings it in. Jared Tassisi. Taylor Polder driven back. Jesse Bond in that one. Milking the call from our match officials. Armiger plays in the other Tassisi. In fact, that may be Hemi Douglas onto the park.
Oh, great run, offloaded. Still going. They're chewing meters now, Corey.
Edwards, centre field. Armiger to Hunt. Jamal Hunt, little change of direction at the line. Jamal Hunt, he's got them second guessing, but Jared Tua says, "You're not fooling me." Takes him to ground, 20 out from the line. Armiger looping ball to Stowers. Stowers looking to kick and then holds up and passes. Goes to Polder, but the ball spills loose, and this will be a handover. Te Atatu Roosters about 12 metres off their own line. Taulu keen to get things going once again, but boy, look across this forward pack. There are some impressive specimens, and as you quite rightly mentioned there, that once they get rolling, very, very hard to contain.
Yeah, and I suppose Tattoo coming off the off that first half, they had a luxury of being on the ball for quite some time and looked like they were wearing the Papakura Seagulls down, or at least they were certainly giving them a wee bit of a cardio run around. That said, though, when you get points on the board, all of a sudden, big boys get to be able to say, well, let me have a turn on me, you get a run.
Penalty here, high shot from the tackle at marker. So Te Atatu to kick for touch. They're already on the 30, so this should take them into opposition territory here.
And just to note, too, that Crown Lift Truck sponsor the Auckland Rugby League Referees Association, so you know they're right across the ground, right across the game. So big shout out to Crown Lift Trucks.
Bond to Inu. Inu goes to Golding. Long-time player at the club, Eric Golding. Here's Briggs, who was outstanding in the first stint. Another good, strong carry and an offload. Finds Bond, who then offloads again. Second phase now from the Roosters as Miski dances through a couple. No offload this time. He's taken the ground. Right in the center of the field. Bond, flat ball to Hakaraya. Hakaraya just about goes through. Pops a beautiful offload to the middle. And on hand to collect it, Seamus Makeri says thank you very much. Goes over for the try, and we're back even. 50 minutes gone here at Jack Colvin Park.
Well, this is going to be exciting on the Crown Lift Trucks action replay. He faked a little bit inside, faked again, just busted the line, managed to keep his feet and found that runner coming through. Wonderful support. And you see a rooster fly there for the first time today as he crosses the line. 4 points. Yeah, the boys are feeling a bit cocky now. Look at the one in the background there. We missed him on the action replay. She had the beat going.
Yeah, it's a foul joke from you.
Yeah, I'm wondering where that one, you egg.
It's times like this you wonder if we're the only two people in the country laughing at this stuff as we giggle away in the commentary box. At least we're having fun.
There you go. You're not picking on me again.
So big kick to give the Roosters the lead once again in this seesawing affair here in West Auckland. Good off the boot. Flags are up. And it's the Roosters back in front. 16 points to 14. 51 and a half minutes gone here in this crucial Crown Lift Trucks Fox Championship clash. The winner of this one will go clear from the other and take a big step towards securing a top 4 spot, and with it promotion to the First Division qualifiers for next year.
So that 2 points could prove to be very important. And we've talked about that throughout the match, especially at the business end of the year.
So back underway, bouncing ball, reeled in, and oh, that was a hit for the ages.
Got a shoulder on.
Tua. Brave man that takes a hit up right now. Jesse Bond. Jumps out, engages the markers, wrestled to ground. I've just received a message from our colleague, Savannah. She's laughing as well, so that's 3 of us who thought the jokes were funny. Briggs bumps the ball forward. Look at the leg drive from Donovan. All of a sudden, this game has just taken a little notch up in intensity. Goulton jumps out of dummy half, tests those markers, but Armiger is on hand to wrestle him to ground. He's had a fine game so far, Luke Armiger. Inu looping ball forward. So hand over, Papakura ball. But that hit, I dare say, that will make the top 10 for the biggest we've seen this year. And there was a number of players involved in it as well. A real team
absolutely.
effort.
Yeah, 2-on-1. That's not fair. But they certainly didn't miss. And just acknowledging Vigo Rasmussen there. He was Johnny on the spot for the floating forward pass there. As we wait for the Seagulls to restart. Here we go.
Jamal Hunt. One-time North Sydney Bears reserve grader. Such a good player.
Strong too, isn't he?
Phoenix to Edwards. Edwards had Ropati on his shoulder, and they ended up sort of running into each other by the end of it. Ropati goes centre field, runs it towards Tua, who finishes up down low. Phoenix Hunt now is the dummy half. They'll come centre field. Stowers turns back onto the inside and finds a running Junior Pitta.
Silky smooth skills there from Stowers. Just faked it and then went.
Edwards dinks over the top. And will stay in.
Wow.
Brilliant kick. Goulton picks it up. He's got eyes on getting out of here.
Nailed.
That won't happen. Taken down. And back-to-back sets coming up for the Papakura Seagulls. Now, we were fairly critical of their game management at the start of the match, but really starting to come into its own now, and George Edwards coming up with some good decisions.
Yeah, absolutely. Kicking well. I think there's a lot more energy inside the defence line. They're getting off the line now and really making themselves imposing. So, and look at the reward for that one. They managed to trap them inside the goal as we wait for Roosters to drop out. Where is he? Hiding behind the old SAS bolster.
So taken on the full, and Pitta winds it up. Jesse Bond. That's a heck of an effort from Jesse Bond.
Yeah.
55 gone. The Roosters, who lead by 2. Phoenix Hunt shifts to the right-hand side, picks up Taylor Polder. Papakura Jr., who's played for both Rewa and Howlick previously. Hunt to the other Hunt. To Edwards. Edwards had Makati Beatty looming on his shoulder. Instead, he takes the tackle. Centre field. Options left and right now for Papakura. Hunt to Beatty. Beatty back onto the inside, and Hemi Douglas goes very close. Taken down just short of the line. Phoenix Hunt plays short at that line. Jamal Hunt wrestling, but he won't get the ball down. Brilliant defence from the Atatu Roosters. Just managed to get Jamal Hunt onto his back. Otherwise, that was try time for the Papakura Seagulls, and you can hear it down here.
Hey, going off. What a wonderful defensive play that was, and managed to repel them. But here they come again. Little dink through the line, cleaned up well though. And it's another
repeat.
Yeah. Bit of Groundhog Day action here for the Roosters.
Yeah, it's a big point of the game, isn't it? If the Roosters can survive this, the confidence they will take from it will be huge. They'll chew off every second they can in taking this. So a long one, which will go 40 on the fly, and then takes a bounce to Stowers, and then Makati Beatty will hang on. Makati Beatty! Oh dear, backs aren't meant to carry the ball like that. Pitta.
There's definitely some intent now unfolding at Jack Colvin.
Jamal Hunt goes across field looking for an opportunity. The 10 out from the line. Makati Beatty, he shook that off like it was nothing. Hunt. Phoenix Hunt jumps out, looking to engage those markers, but they're well up to it. Tua takes him to ground. Edwards now is the dummy half. Edwards jumps out, links to Ropati. Ropati running hard, and Equini Ropati. Finally, they get their reward, Papakura. Back-to-back sets down this end of the field. Some brutal carries through the middle of the park, and at the end, it's the centre, Equini Ropati, who crashes over for the try and puts the Seagulls back in front.
And just coming on the back end of the Crown Lift Trucks action replay here, we can see he shaked off a defender and just too big, too strong, 4 points. And loving it. Yep, there's a lot of emotion and pride in that one. And we can just see the Atatu Roosters on screen there. Just that one came back from their celebrations of the Kura boys. Sort of body language sort of speaks to that a little bit. And that kicks right in front, so it'll be an important 2 points. As the tee arrives. And off screen again. Kura boys are back into the huddle. There they are. And that's become a common sight throughout this game. So obviously they're having team chats and, wanting to sustain the pressure. And it took them a little bit of time to get into the game, didn't it? But they've certainly arrived now. It's been the jet lag coming across South Auckland, travelling away.
It's nearly an overseas trip.
Oh, mate.
Nearly.
Lucky they weren't dodging cars coming down the on-ramp traffic, Yeah, that's Southern Motorway. Southern Motorway. That's what I think of it, mate. That's Southern Motorway. Boy, it does my head in.
Stowers steps in, and it's curling around. It will go over in the end, and the Seagulls back in front by 4 points as we approach the hour mark, and all of a sudden there is no place in the world I'd rather be than in this seat for the final quarter of this match, living up to all expectations so far.
Absolutely. Although there's probably a couple of other seats I wouldn't mind being in around the Auckland region if you can crank into a wee bit of that live scoring just to see what's going on, what's going down around town. So Roosters getting ready to kick off again, and we've probably got half the Roosters under 10 pack here with us.
High one off the boot. Stowers gobbles that one up and then hands off, and back into it we go, and that will not be the last big hit we see in this one. This middle battle, thrilling so far. Te Atatu looking to make a difference with their line speed here. Traded tries in the second half, these two teams. Hunt off a quick play of the ball, takes him to halfway. Edwards to Hunt. Jamal Hunt. Still fighting, ball comes loose, and it'll be a knock on. Te Atatu faithful go up. Handover. Ball coming back Te Atatu's way now. 61 minutes gone. It's the Seagulls who lead by 4 points, having trailed early. It was all locked up at half-time. And then in the second half, they've traded tries. Right now, it's Papakura, as you can see, on the upper hand of that. Update from around the grounds. Otahu are up 24-10 over Northcote now. 14 points in that one. There was 12 at the break. 18-6. Point Chevalier in control. 18-10 over Mount Albert. Glenora winning big against Marist. That's a non-contest, 48-6. And the Howard Hornets 38-4. I think at this stage, as it stands, the Howard Hornets have won the Urukatai Shield and will retain the Root Rooster for another week. And from memory, one more challenge, I think, which is the Mount Albert Lions in the final game of the regular season. Briggs.
Oh, strong carry. Left him in his wake.
Bond to Miski. Miski double pump, brings in Hakaraya to Tua, and Tua will be dragged down. He was desperately looking for an offload there, and as it turns out, a penalty. Now, hang on, we've got a penalty. Or there's someone down in back play. Late shoulder charges the call, so I think we've got a penalty here, and there is a man down. Now, I've missed that.
Yeah, it's off screen.
So we've got time off as it is. The Te Atatu player looks in a bit of a state on the ground. So the call we've got from the match officials is a late hit off the ball, shoulder charge and late.
Yeah, we can hear enough of the crowd support going around the park, giving all their opinions.
So both captains out for a chat now with referee Rasmussen.
Sweet images on screen. You see them panning around the park here as everyone's brought their picnic today to Jack Colvin.
A lot of orange juice being drunk as well, by the look of it.
Oh, and green tea, Corey. Lots of green tea down here at Jack Colvin. Famous area not far from here where you could pick tea. I'll talk to Brian O'Shea about that later.
So it looks like we may have a prolonged stoppage here as the injured player is dealt with on the ground, although back up to his feet. It's Isaac Miski, so good to see Miski back up to the feet. As we say, we've missed that one. It was out of shot, so not exactly sure what has happened there. We'll just wait to hear what the next lot of action is. It's going to be a Te Atatu penalty, and I don't think there'll be any sin binning or further action there. So time back on, and we will go back into it with Te Atatu gifted a second opportunity now. Trailing by 4, 62 minutes gone. Lopetti will get things going for the Roosters. Bond to Golding. Golding will centralise. Not far to travel now, the Te Atatu Roosters. Looking to draw even once again. Inu is the first receiver. Misses out Lopetti. Finds Hakaraya. Hakaraya double pump, triple pump, and then gets tackled. Miski to Dyer. David Dyer crabbing across field and put down by Lopetti, who then gets a serve from plenty of the Papakura players. I don't think it was the best pass in the world, to be fair, from David Dyer, and he probably, if he could, have his time again on that one. So they get let off the hook, and Papakura to pack down this scrum 10 metres off their own line. And you just wonder, that stoppage in play for the injured player, obviously these things all have an impact on momentum. And it does feel like it's probably taken just a little bit out of the contest. I'm sure that will build up again. There's no doubt about that. But for the meantime, both teams likely to trade sets for a little bit here and just find their way back into what was really a ferocious pace that was developing. We'll pack down and go again on that one. Jesse Bond, he's been very strong in the middle of the park in the headgear defensively. Despite giving away a few kgs on most of the guys running at him, here's a really good run from Phoenix Hunt, your reigning Auckland Player of the Year. Pitta bumps the ball forward. Of course, we'll have a new Auckland Player of the Year crowned in just a couple of weeks' time at the annual prize giving. BT jumps out of dummy half. Links with Naden, although Naden then gets swamped by Zensei Inu. Eric Golding as well involved in that one. Stowers, a high one off the boot. Galton is under it. Won't need to be. It's tapped on. Now Ropati ends up with it. They'll need to keep the ball alive. It's still last here. Ropati pops it to Sessi. Weaving, hopping, skipping. Goes out the back to Makairi Beatty, who dinks a little kick over the top. It's going to hold up nicely. And Cheney Puata just manages to step his way out of one. And then the ball goes down. Now, who was that knocked on by? Papakura the call. Te Atatu will retain possession, but boy, Keith Hanley and Phil Gordon, the heart skips a beat on that one. Less than 15 to play. Galton to Dyer. Dyer breaks away down the sideline. Striding it out now is Dyer. Kicks back infield. Still on his feet here, Dyer. BT does well to recover it. Losses the call. Huge moment. Huge play, David Dyer. This will be a Te Atatu ball here. Makairi Beatty does really well to get back there and pick it up, but he can't control it.
He really created something out of nothing there, didn't he? Got clear, knew he was closing in. It was either going out over the sideline or, you know, dink it back inside. And then he backed himself and he got there in time to put a shoulder on. The Roosters pack's there ready. They're set. They're wanting to get on with it.
It's good skill, isn't it, to be able to kick that accurately at a fair bit of pace, which David Dyer was carrying that time, and then equally to stay on his feet and chase it down. So big set coming up. 13 and a half to play. It's the Sea Eagles on the narrowest of leads. Could that change in this set? Set heavy to the left off the scrum. It's only Dyer and maybe Anthony Galton set up to the other side. In fact, Galton's come centre field. He's the second receiver here, so maybe a set play on the offering here. Miski, Inu, Galton, look out for the pace. Galton looking to shake free, but handled well by Alan Neil Levu. Oh, and a knock on.
Really? That's just heartbreak. Papakura Sea Eagles are loving it.
We haven't seen a lot of that today, really, when teams have had opportunities. Very few times it's been blown by a knock-on, and that time maybe just trying a little too hard to get to the quick play of the ball, and it comes loose. So Papakura breathe a big sigh of relief. So BT with the first carry. Edwards comes back to the inside to Ropati, who scored the last try of the match. Ball loose. That'll be called a strip.
Well, after having so much time down here for the Roosters, they're about to forego a lot of opportunity here as we wait for the kick for touch to come.
Stowers lines up the CTAS cameras.
No,
Cleared us all.
unlucky. There's a Ford Black Ranger out there we should be targeting.
So Edwards gets to the play of the ball on halfway. Tassesi bumps the ball forward. Hunt. To the other Hunt. To Stowers. Links with BT in the back line. BT holding it up, goes to the line and just about goes through. They're 20 out from the line now. 11 minutes to play here at Jack Colvin. Stowers to Pitta. Pitta goes straight ahead. Stowers goes to the line, then goes backdoor to Edwards. Edwards to Tassesi. They got numbers on the left. They've got a try on the left. Christopher Smithson scores in the far left corner. The Roosters, all of a sudden, in a wee bit of trouble here. They trail by 8. Kick to come, but lovely work from the Papakura Seagulls. They work this left side move beautifully, and Smithson, Johnny on the spot to finish it.
Yeah, and just coming on the back end of that last pass there, really, the opportunity was already created for the winger, and he had to just finish, get down low and get across the line, and he did that. 4 points. So just having another quick look at the replay here. Nice shift to the left-hand side. Nice dummy, faked, held up that defender. Thought Edwards did well here. He just held it long enough to create the opportunity to bring that winger in off the line, and there you go. Papakura Sea Eagles land again. Left-hand edge, corner, 4 points. So coming down inside the last 10. There's still enough time on the clock for a response from the Atatu Roosters. And to be fair, in the first half, they went close with another try that was not there. They, had certainly had some opportunities. And as you can see, a lot of encouragement from the sideline.
Oh, Willie Stowers.
I've got to take my head off. A lot of encouragement from the Atatu Roosters. He's just clapped them on screen, as you've seen. 3-4 people at 35,000 octave. Miss it, miss it, miss it. And then he got it. No, you're the man. Done well. Stowers give himself a clap. Well done. It's all played in great spirit down here at Jack Colvin. As Roosters now get ready to restart.
So it gives Kura a 10-point lead.
The under 10's just yelled out to somebody, I like your missus. All right, here we go.
So driven low down the ground. Picked up by Edwards.
Oh,
Goes back to Tassesi, who promptly gets put down to the ground. 8 to play. Seagulls in control right now. That could change very quickly, as it has done a number of times in this match. Blood, so time off, and there's a player going to go for
15.
a clean-up.
Yep, Tat Rooster.
So Seamus Makeri.
Just off screen there, can't quite see him. That's okay. Trainers are on taking care of that. wee bit of a breather. And these are the moments we talked about earlier, Corey, you raised in regards to when the rhythm of the game stops. Everyone has a wee bit of a reset. And next week, our game of the round, you'll find out about that on Monday.
Yeah, we've got a few to pick from. So I'm sure
Yeah,
we'll
maybe we get the viewers to Facebook and who they'd like to see as the game of the round on ARL TV Clash, and to get to the Auckland Facebook site, you can find that through the website if you like. Go to there, aucklandleague.co.nz, find the Facebook icon, and let us know who would you like us to cover for next week's game of the round. Oh,
Junior
they let him
Pitzer
go.
still going. The tackle was never called and still charging. He's dead set, picked up 20 or 25 extra metres there. Good work from Junior Pitzer. Beatty to centre field where Hunt, who has been a colossus today, Jamal Hunt. Phoenix to Willie Stowers. Stowers comes back on the inside. The tackle crept up, and it more than crept up. They'll look to the post here, you think, Kura?
Yeah, he's pointing.
So they are going to kick, chew off another 2 minutes or so here. And Willie Stowers will use every second he can.
Yeah, and one young Willie Stowers is good for the odd tweet or two, I'm told, from our social media guru at the ARL.
Loves his basketball. Fair
Don't
rugby
we
league
all?
player
Don't
too,
we
is
all?
Willie Stowers. So this kick, which really doesn't change too much from the Te Atatu Roosters' point of view, they've still got to score twice. It just means you're going to have to convert both of them. But it does chew off a whole lot of time. Stowers, flags are up. It goes well and truly out over the dead ball line. And it is the Seagulls who lead by 12, less than 6 to play by the time we get back underway. And it will require a minor miracle now for the Te Atatu Roosters.
Yeah, I don't think they're done yet, though. They're all... Maybe the couple of feathers might be ruffled, but here we go.
So they resist the urge to go short, but I think find touch. Yes, they do. They find touch, so it's going to require a minor miracle. Well, there's the first step. Get the ball back. Clever play from the Roosters. Papakura doing their best to waste as much time as they can here. So a scrappy one, which is cleaned up by Hakaraya and then hands off to Lincoln Hakaraya. Takes it straight back at them. Biggest set of the game for the Te Atatu Roosters. 5 to play at Jack Colvin Park. They need a try, and they probably need one on this set. Hakaraya to Golding. Don't be surprised to see them head to that deadly right edge come business time on this set. Will they need to? Tua still fighting. He'll stay on his feet. He's got half the Papakura team hanging off him by the end of it, but it's a quick play of the ball. Great work from Jared Miskey. Jumps out and will just be denied. They get there in numbers. Isaac Miskey. Very, very close. Hakaraya is the dummy half. Takes an age to get to a play of the ball. Inu. Cheney Puata. Jordan Tua. Bumping. Last play coming up. Biggest play of the game here. What have the Roosters got in the bag? Inu dribbles it in behind. It takes a horror bounce.
Knock on. Oh, double knock.
Offside the call. It's Papakura that's been pinged. Well, that's really one of those plays where you can't do much about it.
It was a ricochet type job, so
So-
the tap and go.
Miski to Hakaraya, to the other Hakaraya, who goes straight and hard. Papakura get there to pull him down just short of the line. Less than 4 to play. Miski, centre field, looking for a gap here. Jared Tua! Jared Tua! The captain crashes over, but he knows there's a bigger fish to fry here. They'll get the ball back quickly and look to take this conversion. But Jared Tua, with what could end up being a huge play for his side, crashes over.
Crown Lift Trucks action replay here. We see Tua receiving the ball. Fakes left, and basically from here, fantastic pathfinder. Just stood up, that defender had enough strength to just ricochet off him and crash over for a 4-point try. Knew that it was well worth the effort, and they're going to try and turn this kick around as fast as they can, get back into the business end.
So back live, massive kick. This has to go over from Hakaraya. Hits it, all good off the boot, and we're back to a 6-point ball game with about 2.5 to play.
And about 50 metres to go.
Kicking tee being called for. So by our count, around about 2 minutes, maybe less to play. High one, which will take a bounce, and Cheney Puata waited and waited for that one and then weaves his way out of a couple. So they need a few good carries here, and then maybe it's a shift. Maybe it's David Dyer, Anthony Goulton. Miski to Hakaraya, that's forward. That might be the game right there. That might just be the game. Papakura will take their time to get things back underway here and just look to ice this game, sitting on a 6-point lead.
Yeah, no more truth from the mouth of babes than that. An intercept or a one-on-one strip.
Either would do. Phoenix Hunt. Siren goes. Sea Eagles win. 28 points to 22 in a thrilling clash here in the Crown Lift Trucks Fox Championship. It is Papakura who get up in this one. A brilliant game, and for Papakura, it's a significant step towards securing promotion back into the First Division qualifiers for next year. A short break before we join the players' pitch side. Okay, we're joined now by Jared Tua, captain of the Te Atatu Roosters. Well, Jared, you were in the fight the whole time. Where did it fall short?
I think we just we didn't dominate on our when we had the ball in hand. You know, we had three missed tries due to not completing our sets. I think we were just trying to force the ball too much, and you know, we come off second best with it. But you know, credit to our team for hanging in there for the 80 minutes. We knew Papakura were going to be an 80-minute team. You know, they're a team that's been to the Fox, won the Fox, and been in the Fox for a long time. So, you know, all we're trying to do at Te Atatu is trying to get that back into the Fox. Man, we were playing really hard to get to this point, and you know, it was a real tough loss, our first one at home for the year. But you know, Papakura never gave up, so credit to their boys.
Your forward pack footed it with them the whole way. You must take a fair bit out of that.
Yeah, you know, we ain't the biggest forward pack in the comp, but you know, we try our hardest. You know, we're a hearty bunch in the middle there. You know, Papakura got a big forward pack, always have. But you know, credit to their boys there, they never gave up, and hopefully we see them in their top 4 semi-final games.
All right, Jared, still in a good position to advance, mate. So all the best for the last 2 weeks, and we'll talk to you again in a couple of weeks' time.
Cheers, man. And I'd like to thank all our supporters and our sponsors at Te Atatu. Thanks to Auckland Rugby League for streaming this game. Cheers, brothers.
All right, Jamal Hunt, well, you look like that was a tough encounter. In terms of the middle battle, mate, where does that rank in terms of the toughest so far this year?
Yeah, I think it was a good challenge for us. You know, beginning of the season, we've been playing, as you know, in the Fox. Unfortunately, got sort of relegated down to the Fox Championship. A different ball game, you know. There's a lot of bigger bodies, heavier bodies, not as quick moving, but definitely takes a toll after the 80 minutes. Yeah, like we knew it was going to be tough out here. We knew it was going to be a middles game. The boys bought it, so did Tat. We sort of lost it there 20 to 30 minutes and gained it back in the first half. That's full credit to our boys, to their pack, and yeah, thank you.
The game seemed to change with Makari Beattie's introduction. What can you say about the impact he brings to this team?
Yeah, Max just brings a lot of energy. He's got the experience behind him. A couple of years over in Q Cup in Australia. The energy he sort of brings to our side. This week he came off the bench. I think we played that real well. Spence looked to insert him sort of around that 30th minute mark, catch some lazy boys around the middle, which he did. Proved really well for us.
You're back in control of your own destiny now in terms of qualification. With 2 weeks to go, you must be pretty happy with where you sit.
Yeah, like I said, we were pretty unfortunate to miss out on the 8 in the Fox Memorial bit. In saying that, we got a new goal. That's to win the championship here. And we're working hard at it. Same thing every year, every training. And yeah.
All right, Jamal, thanks very much for joining us. Enjoy the night, and we'll see you again in a couple of weeks.
Thank you. Cheers.
Okay, that concludes our coverage here from Jack Colvin Park. We're back in action on Wednesday for Westlake up against Southern Cross Campus. All the details for that are available on aucklandleague.co.nz. We'll see you then.